Greetings from North Point Residential School, Siliguri. Today I'm joined by Valentina ma'am and Pritika ma'am, who are going to talk elaborately about the Abacus program, which was introduced in North Point Residential School last year. But before we go about that, in the era of spatial, tactile and digital learning, the program like Mastermind Abacus are doing wonders in students' progress, especially in calculation. My first question, that brings me to the very first question, because we need to know what is this Abacus program. So my first question to Valentina ma'am is, tell us briefly about this Mastermind Abacus program, and since its introduction, how this program has been helpful for the students. Over to you.
Yes, sir. So Mastermind Abacus, it is basically a holistic program which leads to various skill developments like concentration, listening ability, then visualization, and definitely since Abacus, we will talk about speed. Now coming to the next point, I would like to mention a point that our human brain is divided into two parts,
Right.
the left or the logical one and the right or the creative one.
Right.
Now when a student is using our Abacus tool, they are using both the hands together simultaneously. So both the brains are getting activated at the same time. This leads to the overall brain development, and which in turn leads to the personality upliftment of the child also.
Okay. Thank you so much. That seems to be a very satisfying answer, because we need to know what is this program all about, and it has been introduced to North Point Residential School, like I said at the very outset, from class 1 to 5. Now that brings me to the second question. Now since ma'am elaborately talked about the program, now that brings me to the second question. Now she talked about how it develops child imagination, visualization. Now how do you kind of assess child's progress, and what are the teaching methods that are generally followed in this Mastermind Abacus program? Because it is a part of spatial learning, so it is quite different than traditional learning. So what are the teaching methods, and how do you measure students' progress?
We measure the students' progress through 3 steps, that is through written, oral and mental.
Okay.
These steps help the students improve their to build their confidence, speed and accuracy. Like in the initial days, the students were taking longer time to solve basic calculation, but nowadays as their speed is enhancing day by day, now they are doing more faster calculation while maintaining high level of accuracy. And also as their visualization power is increasing, so after a certain period of time they can solve calculation mentally without using the tool. Yes, sir.
Okay, now that brings me to the third question. Now, since I heard there are many levels, because it is introduced from class 1 to class 5. So I think we begin with the very basic level to class 1 and to the advanced to class 5 and onwards. So how many levels are there in Abacus, and what time does it generally take to complete these different levels?
In the school integration program, Abacus has 10 levels, and in the initial phase the students take 10 to 12 months to complete each level, but after they are becoming familiar with the concepts and accustomed to the learning process, they can complete each subsequent level within 6 months.
Right. Thank you so much. And the last question, that brings me to the last question. I would like to know from the Valentina ma'am, because it was introduced last year. So have you seen any progress in child since you've been doing this from class 1 to 4? Have you seen any development in child since the introduction of Abacus? If you could tell us about that.
Yes, sir. Definitely, there are various changes which is visible in the students of our school. But before moving on to the changes, I would like to appreciate each and every students who could learn the very new concept of Abacus in very little time span. Now, coming to the changes, as she have already mentioned about the speed and accuracy, I would like to add on another point that see, it is very natural for the human brain to lose attention in between so many periods. But after the introduction of Abacus, it is seen that the students, even after the 40 long minutes in a period, they are willing to solve more questions. And this concentration factor is not only limited to this Abacus subject, it can be reflected in the other subjects as well. So with this, it can be concluded that the students, those who are in practice with Abacus every day, they are having much better concentration, they are having an all-round development, and definitely I would add one point that they are one step ahead in today's competitive world.
Right. And before I conclude this session, I would just like to know, children of which age bracket are mostly benefited from this program?
Yes, sir. So, since it is the program in school integration program, we are including the class 1 to 5.
Okay.
Usually, the age group of 6 to 14 plus
Right,
are
right,
getting
right.
benefited.
Okay, so this is more about a mental calculation, right?
Right. So, mental calculation, speed, and accuracy.
Thank you so much, Valentina ma'am and Pritika ma'am. With this, we conclude this wonderful session. And a North Point Residential School, we try and introduce this kind of programs for child holistic development. And not only Abacus, we have Vedic mathematics and various other program that has been introduced in the school for child progress. And in future as well, we are going to introduce such kind of program. For now, thank you for speaking with us. And yes, if you're looking for a school that really combines the entire holistic development of a child, then North Point Residential School is the school you must come. The admission for the session 2027-28 is officially open, and especially class 1 to 5 is a stage where a child brain is developing. And like they said, both of the ma'am have efficiently described the pros and cons, definitely the benefits of Abacus, wherein we focus on child's development, accuracy and calculation. And at this age, the programs like Abacus are doing wonders. And I'm sure if you let your child join North Point Residential School, the programs like Abacus will do wonders, and definitely you'll see a definite change and progress in your child's development. And thank you again. Thank you for speaking. I will let you go, and with this we conclude. Thank you.